Bienvenidos al... Just kidding. Welcome to the Flavor Tea Podcast, you guys. Welcome back, you tea droppers, you saucy little tea droppers. It's gonna get saucy today. No, I'm just kidding. It's not gonna get saucy. Wow, I need to drop all of that. Guys, thank you for joining us. As you guys know, Austin and I are constantly talking about the gym and staying active. So we figured today we would go ahead and just break it down. What our daily habits look like, what helps us, and maybe it'll help you too. So thanks for tuning in. It's about to get flavored. Break it down, Austin. Go. Okay, I'll stop. ¿Qué onda, amigos?
¿Cómo está?
Qué broma. I'm just kidding. You guys, I'm feeling a little hyper. Welcome.
What time is it?
It's late.
Like 9.
It's way past my bedtime.
It's 9:27. Ellie has gone to the gym, worked, and gone through a whole Cyclebar class. Yet she still has this much energy. It is insane. But hey, look.
Welcome. Welcome. If for those of you that don't know who this voice is blessing your audio right now. I'm just kidding. I told you I'm being saucy. This is Elizabeth Aquino with my co-host
Austin Hernandez. I'll say it myself.
Oh, dang. He is feeling a little saucy too. We're waiting on our pizza.
We are.
So I guess that's why we're feeling saucy.
Says Robert is 4 minutes away.
Roberto,
3 minutes away.
Y'all, do you know what Austin asked me?
What?
You literally just asked me a few minutes ago, do you want to get delivery insurance? And I was like, that's also saying, do you want to throw your money away?
Some people get it. Maybe they drop the pizza and they want a free one. I don't know.
No. Please let me know if you've ever gotten delivery insurance. Is that actually a thing?
It is, and it's just in case you drop your pizza or the delivery driver drops your pizza.
That sounds whack.
You get a free pizza in return. So, waste of money, but I was just kidding, by the way. I would not. First of all, I go.
Yeah.
Anyway,
thank you guys for joining us this evening or morning or whenever you're listening to this. We've been doing this for a while now, huh, Austin?
We have. And one thing I just want to point off right off the back is this has been a busy. When did we start season 4? Like January, right? At the beginning of the year,
Season 3.
Season 3. I see. It's been a crazy year so far. We started season 3 at the beginning of the year, yet we are only on episode 4. This year has been crazy, which
honestly,
is good.
Though, yeah, I'm glad.
It's a good thing, but we haven't been able to post on time like we usually would the past, couple of seasons. But that's good just because, we've been busy with work, other things, and
I honestly like it. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
I honestly like it because I feel like we're doing it. The reason we do it is because we enjoy it and we're not forcing it.
No, for sure.
And I feel like sometimes with the many things that we have going on, I try to slowly but surely, I feel like as I get older, I try not to force things. Like if I enjoy it, if I enjoy somebody's company, if I enjoy a certain project, I really want to be intentional about it. Yeah. And I don't just want to feel like I'm doing another job.
Yeah, no, for sure. That's how I feel too. It's almost as just, I think at the end of the day, if we're still making time to do it despite being all busy, because we could have easily said, man, we're not even on track no more. We post every 2, sometimes 3 weeks. Let's just leave it. But no, we still make time.
But that was also kind of the goal when we started the season.
No, for sure,
that we weren't going to be posting every week because we were initially posting every week. Yeah. And it felt more like a job to me. Yeah. I enjoyed it, but it felt like a job. So I'm glad that we're taking it easy. That's just like a little reminder, you have so much going on in life that you don't need to keep adding to your plate or doing things. Because what you think other people will think about, your certain project and I was telling this to Austin earlier, there's something in my personal life where I feel like I'm slowly but surely kind of getting the hang of, and I'm not focusing too much on what people are thinking about it. Yeah. Just because I used to think that I was okay. Like I didn't care what people thought, but I feel like I'm realizing that I'm not proud to say it, but I do, and I'm kind of dropping that. So it's something I'm learning, and I love learning about it. And hey, I just heard a knock, which means the pizza's here.
That was a knock?
Yes. Also, I saw my little Ring doorbell go off.
Oh.
So do you want to go grab it, or do you want me? But I was telling Austin that, and I'm really proud of myself, and I see these little improvements, and I feel like it's just a great reminder that, maybe sometimes when you put yourself in an uncomfortable situation, here's the pizza. You can hear Austin grabbing the pizza. But anyways, what I was saying, when you put yourself in an uncomfortable situation, you realize certain things, and it's not always, the greatest feeling, but I've realized that when you're uncomfortable, that's where growth happens, and that's where... Bring the pizza over here! Okay, clearly I'm distracted. We might cut that off.
Yeah, this part's not going to make the podcast. It might make the actual recording, but we cut it off with the YouTube part. Anyway, no, I was just kind of listening to Ellie. Pretty much, as you go on and on, I feel like it was unrealistic for us to keep a stable schedule with this, just because we wanted to take on other things, and we had other goals, and not necessarily saying that we put this off, didn't care about it. It was just more of, just got busy with other things too. But yeah. Point is, we're here, and
we're here, and the pizza's here. Cabs are here.
We can't eat it till afterwards.
Don't get too serious. Are you serious? We're not gonna wait till afterwards? No, pues.
Can't eat it right now.
No, pues. All right, guess that's a wrap. I'm just kidding. Okay, it'll stop. Don't do that. That's gross.
What are we talking about today?
Today we are, as we're about to eat pizza.
Talking about eating healthy, cleaning.
No, it's not even eating healthy. It's just being healthy.
Yeah, overall.
I feel like we talk about being active a lot on this. I feel like every single episode that we start, we're like, oh, so what'd you do today? And it's like, oh,
did this,
went to go work out.
Yeah.
And we kind of just wanted to share that with you guys and kind of what our habits look like, because being active is not easy. And I get it. Our situation may look different than yours. Like, you might have a family that, you have to make dinner in the evening, so you can't work out in the evening, or every situation is different. Yeah. But I think from what I've seen, when you make time to be active or intentionally take a moment for yourself, it affects so many different aspects in life. And whether it's, getting that workout in, or in the morning and going really hard, or just getting a workout in the evening and going for a walk with your family, it looks different for everyone. But I feel like we have one goal when we do that, and it's just to feel good. Yeah. It's either to de-stress, or it's either because, you have to stay active for your health. Yeah. And I think for me, and Austin, I kind of want you to share why you do what you do, but I think for me, it's something that's always been attractive to me, in the sense that working out makes you feel good. So I crave it, and I didn't take it that serious until after I graduated. I would work out every now and then in college, but then after I graduated, I felt like I hit a moment in my life where it was just a feeling that I felt high off of. And then my father got sick, and movement was very important in our family. It was something that affected him, and it affected my parents a lot. And that's whenever I realized how beautiful it is to even be able to walk. Yeah. How to be able to move your fingers. The littlest things I never really paid so much attention to until after, the process of my dad getting better. Thankfully, he's doing a lot better now. But being active is something that is very crucial in our family. And I see it from my parents' side. I mean, they're not going to Cyclebar right now. My goal is to get them in there someday, but just little things that they do, and their mood improves. And me and my parents openly talk about it, how important it is to get a workout in, or hey, can't hang out right now because we're doing this, we're going to the gym. Little things like that it's just a constant reminder. And that's really why I started working out, our mood, and then obviously just celebrating movement. Why did you start it? What made you want to be active every single day.
Same thing. It was kind of like working out has always been something that I've kind of always done. Started picking it up in high school, and then in college, just kind of on and off, just more of a thing to keep me busy. And I think, one of the best investments you can make is in yourself and your health. Mm-hmm. So that's one thing that keeps me going. But as I got older, I kind of grew kind of a passion for it. I loved the adrenaline rush I get when I take the pre-workout and just going in there and just bettering myself, whether it's, the little things like, half a speed faster on cardio or, 5 pounds heavier on bench or whatever it is. I just kind of fell in love with the whole process and how it made me feel. And it's kind of almost became a part of me at this point. And, a lot of times, like you said, we take some things for granted, like, being able to move and do certain things. And, I'm still young right now, and that's why I push myself to really take advantage of those moments. Even on the days that I don't really want to go, or the days that I'm tired, or I don't really feel like working out, I still make myself go, because I'm like, man, there's people out there that are wishing that they could actually come out and do the things that I'm doing right now, or the other things that people are doing in the gym. It's something we shouldn't take for granted. So as I really got older, it helped me overall. It helped me clear my mind. It helped me, get through my tough times. It helped me, kind of like I said, it became a part of me to really it just became part of my life. It's like, even on my day off, I try to go, 6 days a week. And then even on that one day off, it's like, I miss it. I'm like, man, can't wait to get back in the gym tomorrow. But for anybody that wants to take on the journey, I think the first thing that you have to really realize is it's not going to be perfect. You're going to have those days where you're like, dude, I really don't want to go. Or you're going to have those workouts where you're like, man, I feel like it was terrible.
Oh, for sure.
But the most important thing that I could just, say is just keep going. For me, it was never, one thing that I've learned is that you're going to keep learning, like, each and every day. Each and every workout, you're going to learn something new. You never really become a pro at it. And so, for like myself, I probably didn't start taking it serious until like maybe about 2 years ago is when I really started to go consistently, like every day, for every month, for the whole year. It's when it really started to pick up. And I think, like I said earlier, that was the main drive for me. Was I wanted to better myself, and I really wanted to take advantage to be able to do these type of things right now while I can, and just, reminding myself that, not everybody has the opportunity to do some of the things that, you have the chance to do. So
it's that consistency.
It is.
I feel like kind of how you mentioned, even whenever you don't want to go, it's the little things.
No, yeah.
And I feel like us as humans, because everyone feels like this.
Yeah.
I feel like us as humans like to see results pretty quick, or even after a few weeks,
100%.
You're like, what the heck? I've been eating well,
100%.
and I feel bloated today, and granted, seeing what you see on social media doesn't help much, because you constantly see people like showing their progress, and then you're like, yeah, 9 months,
like nice bodies, and this and that, yeah.
And it's great. I'm not trying to talk down on people who show that kind of progress, but everybody's bodies are different.
Yeah.
And I think when you tie, more of the feeling into the feeling that you get whenever you work out, even if it's a bad workout, that's what keeps you going. And I feel like that's the overall power. And that's what I talk about in Cyclebar. Like, yes, numbers are great, and if you show up for numbers because you want to go ahead and improve on that, great, like, keep it up. But at the same time, it's the feeling that you get. Like, it's the feeling of pushing yourself more each time, even if it's just 1%, or maybe just showing up, like just showing up for yourself. Yeah. You don't always have to have a killer workout, because that's not realistic. Like, you can't always have a really good workout. It's that consistency, getting comfortable with being uncomfortable, like, it's that first step of going to a gym where you haven't gone to a gym in 3 months, or, you know, so it's those little things that not only affect you, like not only help you grow in the gym or in your workouts, but mentally as well.
No, 100%. And it's one of those things I understand. It is intimidating. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, just get in there and do it. No, it is, because like, kind of like you said, you go to the gym, or, I mean, you see videos, but for someone that goes to the gym and they see everyone's at different levels, you know? And for someone, like you said, that's been out of the gym for 3 months, and you go in and you see someone, you know, going in there lifting X amount of weight, or, you know, their form is great and their physique is great, it can be intimidating, because you're like, man, you know, you kind of get down on yourself and you're just like, God, I got so far to go. Like, I want to be like that. You start comparing yourself, and that's something that you really shouldn't do, you know, because...
But it's normal if you do.
But it's normal if you do,
everyone goes through it in a different way.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's also kind of like a reality check. Like, okay, I'm thinking a lot about myself. And I'm not going to lie, my mother humbled me not too long ago whenever I was starting something new. And she was like, okay, why are you thinking about it so much? It's not like, quit, like, humble yourself. Yeah. You're thinking about you too much right now. And I was like, well, dang, Mom, I think you're right. And so it's those little things where you're like, okay, nobody really cares. Like, everyone's doing their thing. Yeah. Granted, you might feel like everyone's looking at you, and who knows, maybe someone is looking at you, you know? But that's whenever you like start putting discipline into work. And that's whenever you start realizing, okay, maybe, you know, I need to take a step back. Or it's these little things, like, it's not their lives, it's your life, it's your health, it's your body, it's your time. Like, it's a bunch of little things where it kind of just comes down to you. Like, what do you want out of this?
And I always tell people too, whenever you do start a journey like this, just, I mean, try to stay consistent as you can. But at the same time, once you get to that point where you see your first results, man, it becomes addicting at that point. Because I remember when I, you know, started taking it real serious, and I saw, you know, you start seeing the cuts, you start seeing the little things, and it just becomes addicting, because you want to see more. You're like, oh man. So I always tell people,
you start seeing that six-pack and you're like, okay.
Yeah, you want to work harder, you want to go for it, you start having other goals. And I always tell people, if you could just make it to that first like milestone of whatever it is that you're chasing, like, if you can make it just to where you see a little bit of progress, you're gonna be okay. Because at that point, you're gonna want to be like, man, let me set another goal and hit that. And that's another thing too. A lot of times we focus on the end result of that perfect body, but it takes a while. Don't get me wrong. I'm not gonna sit here and say, you know, you'll get it just like that. No, it takes a while, and it takes a lot of work, and you just got to kind of break it down into goals. Like, okay, I want to do this in this amount of months, or after you do that, okay, I want to do this in this amount of months now. You know, you can't really, it's good to have an end goal, but at the same time, you don't want to always focus on that, because it takes a while, and it can, you know, it can cause you to get burned out, and cause you to get discouraged, because, you know, you don't really get it overnight. It takes a lot of work. So just, that's another advice I would, you know, give to people too, is break it down into, you know, 3-month goals, you know, X amount of weight loss, or improve your form in this, or get stronger in this area, or, you know, improve in this. That's really a way that I've, you know, done, something that I've done that, you know, has worked for me. For example, right now, it's like, you know, I've lost, you know, so many pounds, and now I'm like, okay, my next goal is to bench 315 for one time, you know. So that's my main focus right now, is to really, you know, improve on that. Once I get that, it's like, okay, let's try and do this now. And I don't know, tell me if I'm wrong, but I think that's probably one of the most effective ways to really make progress and to stay consistent in the gym, because it's short enough to keep you motivated, but it's not too long to where you get burnt out.
Yeah. Which I have a different perspective on it. I'm not gonna lie, I don't really focus on body goals much. Not like weight loss or certain muscle. I mean, I do, but I don't put too much emphasis on it. To me, it's more of like the feeling. I've gotten to the point where my consistency has affected my mood a lot, even on the crappy days. And I was just telling this, I taught earlier today, and this week I was clipping in. When I say clipping in, I mean like writing a Cyclebar class in the evenings because my anxiety was really high. And one morning specifically at work, it was just really high, and I couldn't really nail it down why I felt so much anxiety. And I was texting my friend, and she texted me in the evening, and she was like, "Hey, how are you feeling today?" And I had taken a Cyclebar class, and I felt better. And I'm not saying, like, I'm not trying to like influence people to go to a Cyclebar class, but it was just the feeling that's attached to it. And I realized in that moment that it's the feeling that I get whenever I push myself, even if it's just a little bit, or showing up even on my crappy days. And so to me, it's that feeling that I crave. It's the feeling that it makes me feel better. It makes me feel proud. It makes me feel accomplished, challenged. Literally everything that I want to feel, it gives it to me. So to me, it's not really tied to goals.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I do. I like, whenever I start feeling like my legs are losing muscle, or, you know, my core is not as strong, little things like that, that does influence me to, you know, do a specific workout. But I'm not so much influenced by, I need to weigh this certain amount, or I need to gain this certain amount of muscle, which is great for you guys, because I feel like you have, like Austin is talking about it from that perspective, and I'm talking about it more of like what I feel. And yeah, so I feel like going back to, everybody feels something different. Everybody works out for a specific reason. And I feel like it's just that consistency, as Austin and I were talking about. It's just that consistency of like the feeling, you know, the goals, the little tracking, the little progress. So I feel like once you really discipline yourself in showing up every single day, that's whenever you start getting into the groove of things. And there are some days where you're like, you know what, I need a rest day, or
100%.
I didn't wake up this morning. Like, I have a friend who cycles, and then she goes to the gym too, and I see her often. And like one time she was like, "Oh yeah, I slept in today," and I'm like, good, like your body was craving that, your body needed that. But she's also been very disciplined with her lifestyle of working out, that those days that you do sleep in, you know, it's just like, I slept in, it's okay, tomorrow I'm going to show up, because it's that consistency. It's being disciplined with that, and it takes work. It's not easy. It's not easy at all. It's not easy when you have a family. It's not easy when you know, have a job that requires a lot of your attention. But it's that discipline of like making time for yourself. So I if you get anything out of what we just said, it's working on that discipline of showing up every single day.
Everybody's journey,
4 to 5 times.
Everybody's journey is different. You have to find what works for you. Don't get discouraged, because, like I said, the journey is going to be rough. I mean, recently I had 2 weeks of just below average workouts, where I would just feel like I was going through the motion, you know.
But you kept showing up.
But I kept going, I was like, it's going to pass, you know. I would go in and try my best, and sometimes I wasn't feeling it. Like I said, for that whole 2 weeks I wasn't feeling it, you know. And it's like, try again next week, and then this week, boom, greatest solid week, you know. And there's times where like I do have to take 4 days off in a row, because I'm like, man, I'm losing it a little bit, I'm getting burnt out, let's take 4 days off. That Monday comes, boom, you hit it again. You just kind of have to
build a lifestyle.
You do, and it takes time, you know, kind of like Ellie said, and you just have to, you're going to learn as you go, and you're never going to stop learning, and you're just going to get better as you go too. The most important thing is just getting started, and then sticking to it, getting over the bumps, you know. You have your first bad, you know, workout, or you have a bad week where you miss, and then you don't quit right there. Just say, hey, look, tomorrow's a new day, pick it up again and just try again, you know?
And then it comes down to, okay, so it's easy for us to say, yes, keep showing up. But what happens when you start showing up to the gym and you don't like it? You don't find it interesting. You hate working out alone. And then you go to a group fitness class and you also don't like it. And that's where this is where I tell people you have to find what you like what interests you. Again, everybody is different. Everybody has different likings. Everybody's Enneagram is different. So if your desire is to work out by yourself, go for it. Work out by yourself. Start, if you feel like your form isn't great, get abs. Do what you have to do in order to build on that.
Yeah.
If you love group fitness, go to different group fitness classes. There are thousands in Oklahoma City. Yeah. I gravitated to Cyclebar, which is why I'm an instructor now, but I also really love Pilates. I took a Pilates class last week, and it was freaking amazing. So to me, it's trying out different things even when you get uncomfortable. And I preach this day in and day out. Getting comfortable with being uncomfortable is a challenge. But that's when you see more growth.
100%.
I read something the other day that basically said when you stop getting uncomfortable, that's whenever you continue to be stagnant. Us as humans love stability. We love to find a grasp of something and feel confident.
You love routine.
Yes, that's normal. Yeah. But just keep in mind, you're not going to grow if you keep staying stagnant.
Yeah.
And that's something that it's a harsh realization. You have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. That's how you grow. I mean, great. If you want to stay stagnant, go you, do you. But if you do want to grow, that's whenever you have to do things that you don't feel comfortable in. Maybe that's taking a bunch of different group fitness classes and you just find the group just working out by yourself. Yeah. Everyone's different. But I think that consistency is important.
Let's switch it up a bit. Another big part of it too is dieting, and I feel like you probably have a better grasp on that type of, lifestyle more than I do. And I'm not saying that I don't diet. I'm very boring. Chicken and rice, 4 meals a day. Chicken and rice for my 4 meals a day. Yeah, and it works for me. But I'm also a realist and know that that's not going to work for 80% of the people out there. I just do it just because I know it. Gives me the results I need, and I'm too lazy to look up recipes and buy all the ingredients and cook it up. I'm a very simple person. But you've been doing it for quite a while now. Do you have any hacks or things that's made it, because just like working out, I'm sure you have your days where you're like, man.
There are days where I do not want to meal prep.
I don't want to meal prep.
Trust
do you
me.
have any do you have any hacks or anything that has helped you or what has worked for you to stay on this healthy lifestyle?
Well, I will say I'm constantly learning. I'm not a pro at it. I would not consider myself a pro. But it comes back to that discipline. It comes back to that consistency. 2 things. My mood and... My mood and trying new things. I was trying to think of a different way to phrase it. But, so my mood. The reason I meal prep is because I don't like feeling crappy. And... Again, we love routine. I love routine. Yeah. I love, having something specific, and I'm constantly on the go. So whenever I meal prep, as much as I like to have Sunday fun days, meal prepping Sundays is very crucial to me because it helps me throughout the week. And I'm not gonna lie, whenever my friends are like, hey, do you want to go grab dinner? Do you want to go do this? Yeah. It's so hard saying I can't, but it's so important to me because I know I have food in the fridge. And I know that my meal prep is ready for the entire week. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, Saturdays and Sundays, maybe Fridays, I like to go out and have a nice dinner. And I don't feel bad because I know I've done well throughout the week. Yeah. And whenever I don't meal prep and I go out to eat, and I honestly am really, really proud of myself. It's been a while that I haven't meal prepped, but whenever I don't do that, I just feel off. I feel like I don't know what's next. And everyone is different, but that's just the way that I feel. So my mood affects me a lot. Knowing that I have a good healthy meal that's going to provide protein, that's going to provide veggies, all the essentials helps me. And then what was my next one? Trying new things. So I'm not going to lie, I wouldn't consider myself the best cook. I don't. No, it's not even bland. I just feel like there are people out there that are probably better cooks. But I do like to experiment. I like to throw things in there. I like to eat different snacks. The other day I tried lightly salted almonds with cookie butter. I know it sounds weird, but it was actually pretty good. It's just that's just a great example that I'm not afraid to try things, and I'm not afraid to add specific seasonings or mix and match, certain sauces with. So I like to keep it fun in the kitchen. Like I said, I'm not the pro at it, but I like to try new things. So yeah, those are two big things that have helped for me. Yeah. I wouldn't say I love cooking because I really don't, but for my schedule, it works best whenever I meal prep Sundays and have dinner and lunch ready for the week.
And I think for some people too, and there's a thing when they realize that they have to start dieting is they have to eat very little and they can't eat good. But I think that's completely false because for one, I feel like when you start dieting and you want to lose weight, one, it's important to eat because you want to keep some people have different what am I trying to say? Like ways of approaching it. Like, for example, my brother, he did like a fast where, he would only eat between, this hours and this hour. There's between like 4 and 8 of the evening.
I know someone who has
and he lost a lot of weight, so everyone has their own little ways of going about it, but I think overall, a good way to approach it is to still eat, at least 3 meals, 4 meals a day, and you don't have to eat terrible. You don't have to eat nasty food and be like, oh, and be miserable. I still think it's possible to diet but still enjoy it,
Oh, 100%. And I also feel like you shouldn't, it's different for everyone because it's different how you go about things. But for me, I've never restricted myself from eating certain things. Yeah. I think moderation is key, especially if you're trying to lose weight or eat healthier. I'm not gonna lie, I eat a piece of chocolate or like snack on, some chips or something. But I think having one every single day obviously is not good. But I like my dark chocolate. I like my lightly salted almonds. I like my cinnamon rolls on Friday nights. I like my glass of wine.
Thing you bought? Like the
dark chocolate.
Is it the Ben and Jerry's, like the cookie dough?
Oh yes,
that's
what I'm telling you. I don't like restricting myself from certain things, but I will say when you go grocery shopping, be mindful of what you're buying because if you have it in your pantry, you're gonna want it. I don't buy, in Spanish we call them golosinas, which are basically like junk food. Yeah. And my mom actually came the other day and she was like, where are your chips? Where are your chocolate? Like, where are your where's your junk food? And to me, if it's out of sight, it's out of mind. Yeah, obviously I'm not going to go this is me. Everyone is different, but I'm not going to go to the store just to buy some chips. But I do have my cinnamon rolls in the fridge. So whenever I want something sweet, I go and do that. So it's like just finding out what works for you. But for me, if it's not in sight, I don't think about it and I go for an alternative, healthier choice like an apple or I don't know, maybe some pita chips. Pita chips with hummus if I want something like some chips or something,
Yeah. And I think the more consistent you are with it, you start to realize that you don't need it. There were some things that, I used to have bad habits as well. For one, it's been a while, but like drinking soda, and you go on the diet and you go so long on it and you eventually get consistent with it and you start to realize you don't even crave it anymore, just little things like that. So I think same rules kind of apply with the gym. It's just as long as you can you're going to hit some bumps too, just like with anything, you're going to probably start the diet for 3 days and then have 2.
You'll find out what works for you.
Yeah, and you're just going to have to just adjust as you go.
I have learned that whenever you're craving certain things, it's because you're missing something in your body. Like, for example, in the mornings, whenever I start getting really hungry, it's honestly just because my body is craving water. And then once I start drinking water, it goes away. Which is so weird because we don't really tie it to things like that.
That is another important thing is drinking water.
Oh my gosh.
That is
You want clear skin? Drink your water.
I think
you
that
want
is
your mood
so
to improve?
overlooked.
Drink your water.
People are like, oh, water, but no. Drinking a lot of water.
Drink water.
It does so much for you, and I think that's another thing that people tend to overlook.
You know, my mom scared me one time. She said one of my aunts died. Not a close aunt, but one of my great aunts passed away because she drank so much water, and I was like, great, now you traumatized me.
Yeah, you don't want to drink. Oh, you know what some people say too?
Drink your wine too. I'm just kidding.
But people are like, I don't like drinking water because it has no flavor.
Add some lemon to it.
What?
Add some cucumbers. Make it fun. You got to keep it saucy.
Just drink your water. Drink your water, people. But no, like I said, anytime you take on a journey like staying in shape or wanting to lose weight or whatever, just remember why you started it whenever you do hit those rough times and you start to not like it anymore. And, hopefully that'll pick yourself back up. And also, another good thing is, I know we're kind of going over time, but look back and look at like how far you've come too. I know for a lot of people too, whenever they start this journey and they still have yet to reach their goal yet, but they've come a long way, they tend to still give themselves a hard time and be like, man, I'm still, not where I want to be. But you got to kind of take a step back and be like, man, look how far you've come, look how much weight you've lost, look how much, look how stronger you've gotten. You may not be where you want, but man, you've come a long way already. You've proven to yourself that you can improve, and don't stop there, just keep on going.
That can be the Ellieism.
Yeah.
Ellieism for this episode is show up for yourself, even if it's like 5 minutes, even if it's 30 minutes, if it's a full hour. Show up for yourself in the version that you want to show up for yourself. Yeah. Whether it's a workout, whether
Self-care,
it's taking some deep breaths, whether it's praying, whether it's you going crazy on a workout, yelling on a bike, aka me. Show up for yourself. It looks different for anyone. That's something that I'm learning. And it's beautiful. It's beautiful because it's you. As cheesy as that sounds, it's your way of showing up. And literally nobody else matters to your life more than you, if that makes sense. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because you have to fill your cup up for you to show up for other people. And if your cup is not full, my cup is not full, I need some more wine. If you don't fill up your cup, how do you expect yourself to love on your people? How do you expect yourself to show up at work and be your full potential? So show up for yourself the way that you feel like you need to show up for yourself. Yeah. And if you don't know what that looks like, if you're in the middle of figuring that out, start today, start tomorrow. It's those little things, it's those little habits that you build up.
Building blocks,
Yeah.
Little by little.
To get to know it.
Little by little. It doesn't happen.
You're never too young and you're never too old. And that's the Ellieism. Damn, that was good.
That was. No, yeah. And I'm sure if anyone ever needs any advice or you just need pointers or just need help with anything, man, shoot us a DM. I love helping people. I love being in the gym and, someone asking me help on this or just helping someone, and then, a couple weeks later, you're seeing they start to improve in that area. It just makes me feel good too. And we're still
constantly learning.
Oh, 100%. I'm still learning. There's things
and I think that's what really I admire about Austin, and I'm really proud of myself, is that we don't consider ourselves pros at certain things.
Not at all.
Because once you feel like you're really good at something, that's great. I mean, it's great to feel confident in something, but being uncomfortable or being comfortable and being uncomfortable, that's when you start that's growth.
Yeah. So
I admire that from Austin, because he's constantly learning. He's constantly trying to do different things, and so yes, shoot us a DM, like our podcast, subscribe, we're not on Instagram.
Yeah, we are.
Follow us. We are on Instagram, but don't you can't like a podcast. You can subscribe to a podcast. You can like a
podcast on Apple Music and Spotify.
Oh, you can like it on Apple?
Yeah, you can.
I did not know that.
Well, shows how many people like and dislike.
There you go. Go follow us on Instagram.
Do we have any dislikes on our podcast? What if there's like more?
Ay, Dios mío, ojalá que no. Go follow us on Instagram at the Flavor Tea Podcast.
Yeah, very easy. Very easy.
Subscribe on Spotify, and apparently you can hit a like on.
You can also dislike on YouTube.
Okay, go. Okay, we're not throwing that bad juju. Yeah. Thank you guys for joining us tonight. Stay tuned for our next episode because you already know it's about to get flavored. Bye, everyone.